Okay, guys, let's get into Candlewick Lane together. We are kind of walking down Candlewick Lane, or at least we're going to build it. This is the Advent Folio, and it's the first in a series of folios that are going to be built with the same structure, but they'll be different. I'm going to have different themes. This is kind of a Victorian, kind of dark, a little bit moody Victorian theme. And if you fall in love with this process, and I think you will, you'll be able to use this structure again I've got 2 other themes planned. So I want you to kind of think of it like this. Each envelope and panel and little pocket tells part of the story. And what we're doing is walking through this snow-filled lane where every window has this Christmas wonder. And I'm going to show you how to put yours together, where to place the magnets, which I'm going to trial on this. And then, so they're not going to be marked in the blueprint. And then where your panels go so that your folio opens and everything. You will have a blueprint just like several of my new folios have, where it shows you the layout, but it doesn't go step by step into how to put it together, how to assemble it. That's what this video is for. So no matter the theme, the blueprint will change and you'll be able to see the images as they're supposed to be put together. But the video for the structure is this video. Okay, so there's a lot of pieces to this, but it's actually a very straightforward folio. We're going to see how, if I can do this in one kind of take. And I've got a chiropractor appointment, and yeah, so I'm kind of moving things around today, but you will have this guide that's going to walk you through putting part of it. This part it says, "Welcome to Candlewick Lane, an Advent Walk of Wonder." And this is actually what your wanderer, the person opening the folio, will use daily. And so there's a little intro here, and then there's kind of just words to walk to. So on day 1, you would read, "Through frost and flame, the night does gleam, a golden spark in every dream." And then you would open envelope 1, and then day 2, etc. The other one is building it, and this is the maker's guide to the Advent Folio, and it'll show you what contents go in what envelope, and kind of the heart of the story, like how what I was thinking of whenever I decided what pieces would be put in here. Okay, so we'll get back to that. But the folio itself is pretty straightforward, even though there are a lot of pieces. It is a 24-day folio, so it does have a ton of pieces. You've got your base, you've got some waterfall panels, and you've got lots of pockets. So you've got a large pocket, or an envelope, you've got medium envelopes, and then mini envelopes. You've got a place to put a message and a tag. You've got closures for your waterfall. You have all your inserts, all your numbers, little tabs. These go with this. And then I've put together some little word snippet things to be popped in wherever you want. And then all your numbers, like I said, little Merry Christmas greeting. And then this is your banner. The front of your folio looks like this. I went ahead and put this on here because I really wanted to create some depth with this kind of title bar banner thing. Okay, so let's get started. I'm using this is all printed on cardstock, 110-pound cardstock. I'm using a couple of different glues today for different things. Fabri-Tac, and then my Sweet Petunia glue gun. I've also got some magnets, and I might need a couple of my binder clips. So, okay. Let me make sure I am sticking with my plan. Okay, so I have gone ahead and inked everything, scored everything. But the first thing you're going to want to do is cut it all out and then fold and put your envelopes together. I will show you these, and then I'm going to speed this up as I go through and do that, because that would be, you know, not very fun to watch over and over and over. Okay, so they both fold up and go together the same way. Part of it is going to go on the back. And I gave you 5 different papers to use as backing papers. If you print your envelopes on a particular paper and you get it and you look at it and you're like, I like that paper better, the way that these are made is they can just be flipped around and glued the opposite direction. So you could do it that way, okay? I'm not gonna do that because I created it to look like this. So you're just gonna glue your tabs and then fold it over. And I made sure these all folded, but if you score it wrong or whatever, you can just snip a little edge, push down a little harder with your score bone folder, and that's that envelope, okay? And I'm gonna actually put the numbers on after I get it onto my panel so that I can make sure they are exactly where I want them to be. The medium pockets or envelopes go together the same way. You just fold these over and fold this down. Okay. So you're going to want to do that for all of these. After you get this in the folio, these will kind of fold down a little bit more, but while you're gluing it, what you could do is kind of stack them and then put something kind of heavy on the top of them. Then there is 2 other things that you're going to fold and put together. This one is the large envelope. Also goes together the same exact way. And then you've got a tag here. Now this, what you can do with this is you can leave it unglued, and then you could put like a little extra message or something in here, or just for whatever reason, you can keep it unglued. You can add an eyelet here and then some ribbon. And this little window pocket, so this is gonna go in here right like this. And this little window pocket is the same as these envelopes in that you could turn it around and put it in it with a different, if you used a backing paper, you could make it look different. As you go through and fold everything, you can kind of imagine that you're walking down Candlewick Lane, and you can imagine each one of these little envelopes as a little shop that you're going to visit, things that you're going to find, okay? Because there's little bit, they're going to hold these little pieces of magic or whatever, inside the envelopes. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through and fold everything and then come back here. So you can pause this. I'm going to speed it up, fold your envelopes, and then meet me back here. Okay, I'm back. I have glued all of my envelopes together. I've got them kind of sitting under some weighted stuff here. And now we are going to glue in our panels. Okay, so I like to glue my panels in this way because the way I'm going to show you, because I feel like it's just easier to line everything up. But the point of gluing the panels is just to get them glued. So if you want to do it a different way, feel free. I'm going to use 6 magnets on this, and I've like worked out the placement of them to where they'll hold. But the first thing I'm going to do is glue these panels together. So these are the inside and outside panels 1 and 2. The 1 and 2, you'll know the difference because they have tabs on them. Okay. And so we are just going to glue these together. Got a tickle in my throat. I've had the heater on because we got that cold front, and it just dries everything out. My body is just like dried up. Okay. Oh, hang on just a second. Well, I'm thinking, let me take that apart. So outside. Yeah. I'm separating that. Sorry, I forgot. I'm gonna put glue these. Forgot these. These are my closures, my waterfall closures. So those are gonna go in here before I glue that together. So they're gonna go on panels 1 and 4. And you can decide how you wanna do them. So here is the inside. And they're gonna glue like right here, and they're gonna pop up this way. I put some drawers here if you wanna do that. Or I also have some really pretty florals, really dark, moody florals if you wanna go that direction. I'm gonna go with the drawers. So those are just gonna actually sit right inside of here. Just holding that down. So so I'm putting on panel 1, I'm putting this tab, and then I'm going to put it on panel 4 when it goes to the other side. So now we'll glue these together. I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this because it gets a lot more coverage. So this is where I'm going to put my magnets. I can't believe I forgot that too. Okay. It's just because I didn't plan very well. Okay. And one of the magnets is broken there. These are the tiniest little 2, 4, 6. Okay. So I'm just going to do this by gluing. I'm going to just place these right here. I'm just going to place them. They go right here next to this spine, but pretty close to it. So I'm just putting that there, and then I will check the polarity of them before closing on the other side, before doing the other side. Okay, I'm pausing this to say that this did not work. The envelopes and where they're placed, it's too thick. So the magnets work great. If you have a better solution, I would love to hear it. Please post here. So on this one, as long as you have one right, the other one will be easy. So I'm just sticking these down. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on top of them. Doop, doop, doop. And you may want to put yours a little bit further up away from the outside edge than I did. Mine feels kind of close to the outside edge just because you would want to cover it up on that end. Okay. Now I'm going to glue down the rest. And okay, so on this one, you're going to glue your magnets right on. Let me think. This is this side. Okay. You're going to glue them right on the outside. So this one was on the inside of this spine. This one will be on the outside of this spine. So they won't go until you do these two panels. So with this, we're kind of just building the foundation of Candlewick Lane, kind of the doors and walls before the decorations go up. Okay, now this next part is where we're going to glue these panels to the tab, and I do it separately so that I can make sure everything's lined up. So I'm going to do the outside first. And I'm just going to kind of getting glue everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to glue a line of glue right here. And I kind of fill where it's folded and just press it down right there. Okay, now I'm pushing this down here to the edge of the table so that I can make sure it is kind of even. Okay, I've got glue going everywhere. Okay, now before we put this inside panel on, this is when we're going to do our other closure strip. Waterfall closure strip is what I think I call this. If you've gotten one of my other waterfall folios, either like the Bless Your Heart or the Letters from the Parlor or Bluing Gate, they use this same type of closure. And I am going to just glue that down here. Last time I put the glue here and I put it to the front. This time I'm doing it this way. The idea is the same, honestly. No, it doesn't really matter which way. As long as you have it going, showing what you want it to show, then you're good. Okay, now I'm going to put, so this is where it's going to get a little tricky. Before I put the magnets down, I'm going to go ahead and glue this panel right here, and that way I can fold it up a little bit and make sure my magnets are in the right location. So I'm going to glue this panel first. Make sure I have it all lined up. I wonder about this recording. Like, I have my ring light and it's connected to my table. But anytime, I notice that anytime I go over this, it shakes it. So I'm kind of thinking through what my options are there. I've got a little white paper showing here, so I'm going to ink that up a little bit. I may even trim that a hair when I come back around. I'm not going to sweat. Not going to sweat it too much though. Okay, so let me go ahead and glue down this spine. Since I know that my magnets go on the other side of the spine, I'm going to glue this here. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. We're going to fold this. Oh, that doesn't have very much give there. That is like interfering with my spine. Make sure you have enough space. You've given yourself enough clearance there on the spine. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna, with my bone folder, I'm gonna kind of press this down and just make sure everything folds correctly. I'm gonna do the same. This is a pretty wide spine. There's a lot here, so you want to make sure that you have all the parts that you need, all the space that you need. So spines are really important to me. You'll see me on some of my mock-ups, you'll see me call them out, because there are, unfortunately, a lot of people out there creating templates and they don't think about the spine, and it's very frustrating to the end user, and I don't want my end users to be frustrated. So I should have done that the exact same way I did it before, and thankful I can fix this. So now it has the right give where it's going. Okay. Now we are going to here's how we're going to figure this out. I'm taking my magnets. Let me find my magnets. And my magnets are here. So I'm going to just drop them right here. And I don't have a Sharpie marker handy, actually. Hey, whoever's downstairs, can you bring me a Sharpie marker from the cups?
Say it again?
Sharpie marker where the cups are at.
Yeah.
Can you bring that real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm getting somebody to bring me something. Okay. Okay. I'm going to mark these, and that way I know that those go to okay, let's see. This is I'm going to glue it, basically. I'm going to glue it on, we're going here. Okay. About. And that is the outside. Okay. And this, how do I want this? I want this to go here. So I want the place where I put the mark to go on this part. That's kind of driving me crazy. I'm going to fix this in a second. The magnets are a little bit more important. Let's see if I can get this to stick. I like Fabri-Tac because of its ability to move things around, but when you don't want them to move around, you like need it to just hurry up and dry. Okay, so that's going there. And that is going to glue to, this is where I want them. And I want the black to be on this part. And this is the inside. So I'm going to make an eye for myself so that I know. So they're actually going to be glued like here. Okay. So let's see if we can make this happen, y'all. I want them about right there, and I can always just like move them over. What could I do? Let's think. Let's think. Oh, I think I know. I think I know what I'm going to do, y'all. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a little bit of ink. Let's see if this will work. I'm going to put a little, I would do another color of ink, but they're all downstairs, I think. I'm going to ink that. And then I'm going to close it and see if I can transfer it. Like a stamp. Did it work? Ah, it worked! Yay! Okay. So now we know what we're doing. We're gonna put some glue here. And then we're gonna glue these here. Sometimes it is all just one big experiment, y'all. I warned y'all ahead of time that I'm not great at making something 45 times. That's like me and laundry. We do not get along well. And not as in, oh, I just really hate laundry. No, I am not, really honestly not exaggerating when I say that I would rather stub my toe on the bar from under my bed 45 times rather than do laundry. Okay, so I'm gluing that down. Let me move this. It's the ADHD, y'all. It's a blessing and a curse, as Monk would say. I want to have this pretty even if there's a way to do that well. So I'm kind of sealing that edge first, just so I don't have a lot sliding. And then doing this. Okay, now I'm gonna come push this down here. And if there are some edges showing, you can always snip the edges or ink the edges. Okay, so this should, yay! Okay, that's exactly what we want it to do. Perfect. Okay. Now, I need to plug in my computer because it is getting low power. Let's see where we're at. Okay, and then if this would be a good place to for me to come back. Okay, so now we attached our remaining panels. Okay, so we're gonna have that wraparound effect here, and then I'm so excited that that worked out. And I'm so excited I thought about that stamp pad The next part that we're going to do is we are attaching our waterfall closures and our waterfall panels. So let's do that now. Okay, it's the next day. So I'm picking back up where I left off before, and we had finished the panels and the waterfall closure tabs. So now this is really good and dried. It clicks into place well with the magnets. And so now we're going to put the little closure that these tabs fit on. And then that is right here. And so these are just going to go right up here at the top, kind of centered on the panel. Okay. I want to just hold that down. I want to make sure that's going to close. Perfect. Okay. And then we've got our waterfall panels. Okay. So I'm going to refer to the blueprint here. Here comes this next part. Okay. So this is the section we're doing right now. And the first thing we're going to do is these waterfall panels. And there's 6 on each side. So we're going to take those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll put that one there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So sorry, ignore the dog. The majority of this is going to be covered up by our envelopes, but these are going to go here. And we want our first panel. It's going to kind of sit right under here. I should have not done that. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can look that up. Yeah. So I'm just gluing that there. And then this part, it's going to have to come right below because it lifts up. So it needs to come right here, but I need that on there for the placement. Okay, let me glue that. Let me stick that back on there. Okay, now we just want it to be able to open. Okay, so we're folding all of our tabs down. And we want to make sure it opens. So that's there. Okay, once you get that first one placed, the rest are super easy. These are just going to bump right up to the tab. And these are going to hold our odd numbered numbers, or odd numbers. And they are holding our little shops and like the main stops along Candlewick Lane. And remember, you want the opening to go down because this tab flips up. Each one of the little locations that I have created for you kind of has its own little personality story, and you can add to that whatever you want. You can take this and really make it into something bigger and as creative as you want to be with it. But I provide you the kit and the, you know, the stuff so that if you don't want to be creative, you'll still have something really great at the end. It's the part I love doing. This morning I was at a little craft fair, RCC group. See, this is going to close just like that. So I didn't really get that centered, but that's fine. And they had a craft fair set up, so I got some Christmas shopping done. Okay, let's see. What we have next is our, we're going to do, let's let these dry for a second while we're waiting. We're going to put the banner here. So the way that I've created this banner is for it to go right here. And you can do, there's a couple of options here. You can do it wherever you want, really, but it is made to go across here. So that means that it has to be scored to fit in here and glue so that everything goes down correctly. And this spine is, I think it's 0.45, just under a 1/2 inch right here. Where is my, this is a terrible ruler. It is not showing. I saw that I had another ruler somewhere and I don't remember where I saw it. Okay, where's my 1/2 inch? There's my 1/2 inch mark. Let me mark that because you cannot tell. Okay, there's my 1/2 inch. And this is just a hair below that, whatever that is. Not good with math. What? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, this is 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/16. Okay. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And then I think what I'm going to do is put a little, I'm just putting 2 little marks there, and then I'm going to score it. And that way, and my marks are very small. Okay, I see them now. That way I can tell, you know, it'll fold correctly. Get that in the frame. So, I literally should have a pencil over here, and I don't. But if that is our fold there, and we're going to go right there. Okay. Oh, there's that other ruler. There it is. I have had, see that black triangle? That is from when I taught art classes. I had a ton of rulers, and I wanted to make sure that mine didn't get mixed up. My art ones didn't get mixed up from here at home, or other kids at school. So I put those black triangles on them. Okay. You can do foam tape. If you want to do foam tape to kind of raise this, that would be really cool. I want to make sure that there's nothing that would go wrong with the folding mechanism. So I'm not going to do foam tape. I'm just going to glue. Oh, booger. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that so much. I just love it so much. Welcome to Candlewick Lane. So, like when you open it, it just welcomes you. Okay. Now we're going to do our envelopes. Now, I have the large envelopes are the ones that go here. There's 12 of them. There are three different color like ways on these. And you can see here how I designed them to go. So I start with like the mauve and then do the lighter color and then the gray. So I do mauve, like a beigey, and then the gray. So we're just going to rotate through those and place them on here. Let me get my numbers out. So I've got my numbers here, and those will go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then 13 is over here. Where's number 1? There's a lot of numbers. It's 24. It's an Advent. Where is my number 1? Where did my number 1 go? Oh, there it is. Yay. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that on. And it kind of like pops down over the edge. And then we're going to go beige. You know what I should do? I should just glue these on here. Look. 1, 3. So that's glued on there. Then we can just do the other ones. So while I'm doing this, I went to this craft fair. I wanted to actually sell in the little craft fair that we had going for our community, but it's for our CC community. But honestly, I was like, by the time I heard about it, I knew I would not have time to really get things together. But when I was up there, I also tend to overthink these things. And so I was like, oh, then I have to have a display, and I have to, because my daughter used to do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. My daughter used to set up for these really big like markets, and she would rent a booth, and she had things that she sold there, and it was beautiful. It was always gorgeous. You know what? That is a 6, and this is a 9. Maybe they look the same, this font. Okay. And she always had like tons of stuff that she had to set up. And it was beautiful. She had a tent. She had like one of those covering things. She would have tables, and it was a lot of work. And she did it, with the newborn, and it was amazing. I helped her a couple of times, but she did it most of the time by herself. And yeah, so anyway, I was thinking about all of that and how I would have to have all of these things. And then I was like, okay, it's paper kits. Like, why am I overthinking this? Like, you can make one example, and then you can just put out the kit, or have, like, some people, they don't want to put this together. And a lot of people don't want to print it. So I appreciate the fact that y'all do like printing your things. I've been printing for years and years and years and years. I have several friends that are like, oh yeah, I just got a color printer. And I'm like, it's 2025. I think I've always just been like a bit of a computer nerd. And so I've always had a color printer because I've always printed things and wanted them in color. So, I mean, we had a dot matrix printer when I was young. I say young, I mean, I was in high school. So, anyway, I was up there this morning and I was buying stuff for Christmas, and I was just like, because I am not a shopper. I do not like shopping. I love online shopping. I buy way too many things. I want them delivered to my door. I don't want to have to like get out in the store and go get them. But with our community, I had to be up there anyway. I wasn't actually going to go, but then I had one child who forgot their math map and one child who forgot their essay. And then I had something I was given to a friend that I had made. And so I was like, I'm just going to go and drop these things off. Oh, yeah, they had the craft fair today. So I went over there, got something for a couple of, like, my oldest daughter, my son's girlfriend. I got my nephew, my niece, one of my good friends. I think that's it. Oh, and I bought 2 pairs of earrings. And I got something for one of my oldest sons for their, he makes salsa, and he always uses chilies. And so this is a homemade like chili powder that's made with jalapenos, and I got one that's a serrano peppers. He's gonna be very excited. Anyway, make sure that those don't stick all the way down. I guess I got a little crazy with the glue. Be careful with the glue, or you will literally glue them down, and they're not supposed to be glued down because they have to open. You could actually, once you stuff them, you could glue them down. That's probably a good idea, unless you want to reuse it every year. That would probably be a really good idea to glue them down. You could also do like a little Velcro circle or something like that on them. Okay. Now we're going to let's look at our blueprint. So now we're going to do these mini envelopes here and the large envelope. And I'm just going to go ahead. There's only 2 colors. It's a lot of variety, but they're all in specific colorways. So I'm going to go ahead and put the numbers on while they're out here, and you will notice, because I'm going to point it out to you, otherwise you may not have noticed. Here I go like a gray, white, white, gray, gray, white. Okay, so I did that so that there's some symmetry going on there. So so these are like 2, 8, and 10. I'm going to grab those. That way I don't have to think about it again. There are 2, 8, and 10. And then on here, there's 16, 18, and 24. 16, 18, and 24. And then the white, I love this paper. I just love it. Isn't it so pretty? There's nothing on the back. Okay, and then the white are 4, 6, and 12, and 14, 20, and 22. 4, 6, and 12, 14, 20, and 22. Okay, now we're going to just glue the numbers on. So I think I'll only put glue like halfway. That way I don't have to worry about them sealing shut. How cute are these? They are adorable. You're going to be so excited. You could also go ahead and stuff them at this point if you wanted to. It is time for some Christmas music now. I'll put some on here. I have a funny Christmas story. So I had been married quite a while at this point. I think about 8 years. My sister is 7 years younger than me, and I got married at 19. We lived at our first house for 8 years, and then we moved out to the country. And one time I was calling my sister, who I think she had probably graduated at this point, but she wasn't married. I don't even know if her and her husband were dating. But anyway, she had this recording. She wanted to make a Christmas voicemail. So like, you know how you would record your voice. Does anybody do that? Do I have one on my phone where I have my voice on my voicemail? I'm so curious. I have not thought about that in probably 10 years. Anyway, so I called her, and I was on my way home from somewhere, and I called her, and her voicemail was this. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Oh my goodness. It was the longest held note. It was the longest held note I had ever heard in my life. And it cracked me up. I was laughing so hard, I could not even breathe to leave her a message. And to this day, we talk about it because I still think it's so funny. Oh, I'm going to have to get her to watch this video. She's a crafter. She's not really a paper crafter. My mom is a paper crafter. She's more of a card maker, my mom. My sister has, for years, she did T-shirts and had a silhouette. She's the one that got me started on silhouette. If you haven't seen my silhouette video, I think I mentioned in there that she got me started on silhouette. I don't know. I didn't ever and have no intention of ever doing anything fancy with it. She did a lot of fancy stuff where you're layering these vinyls and all kinds of stuff. So if I ever wanted something made, T-shirt and whatnot, she would do it for me. So she did that for, I feel like 10 or 11 years maybe. And then she just got tired of it. She had a little business going for that for a while. Anyway, she has gotten into 3D printing and jewelry making with clay. So that is her craft of choice. And I'll tell you, the things that she sends me on like pictures and whatnot on the 3D printing, they are really very cool. Like some very cool things. I'm like, hey, can you put that for me? And she's like, I can add it to the log. So apparently 3D printing takes a long time. I've never seen it done. I have no idea. But apparently it takes a really long time to make these things. And then you have these like trays, and then this stuff has to be like popped out of the trays and all that stuff. I just see the end result, so I think they all like just come out like that. But apparently it's not that easy. So anyway, I'll have to get her to watch this video. Now that those are done, we can glue those down. So let's do that now. We've got 1, 3, 4, 5. When I was up at the craft fair, I just realized, like, okay, these people aren't doing like professional markets. That's not what they're doing. They're making things at home, and they have their kids making things at home, and so it doesn't have to be complicated, but it's not the way my brain naturally thinks. We are going on we're not having a big Christmas, like as far as gifts and stuff. We are going to have a very small Christmas because we are going on vacation. We have not been on vacation in a few years. And so we're excited. We're going to Branson, Missouri, which we used to take our kids when they were younger. We used to go all the time. We went, I think, every year for several years. It was just a really, like, friendly place to take them. And we always had fun going to Silver Dollar City. I went to Silver Dollar City when I was young, and I love that era. I just love that time period. They have some of the best rides at Silver Dollar City, too. They really do. If you like roller coasters, then they do have some of the best rides. And I love roller coasters. Love them. And like, even if I'm scared, I'll still do it anyway because I love them. I'm so glad that I like overcame the fear. So when I do it. Anyway, we love going and seeing all the artisans and stuff over there. And so we're going to do that. I think we're going to do Showboat Branson Belle. If you've ever been to Branson, they have a boat, and it's basically like a variety show. Oh, thank you. My husband just brought me coffee. Thank you, babe. He wants to say hi. He has been busy with work and has not been able to edit my videos, but I have taken some notes from him and tried to do what he was doing. But okay, so our envelopes are on there now. I'm just going to leave those up so that they can dry. So let's go ahead and close these up. This is so cute. Love this closure. We're going to close this up, and we're going to put our other put our envelopes on. So the envelopes, the mini envelopes, go here, okay? And this is panels 1 and 4. So they're going to go right here, and they're just 2 across. 2, 2, 2 for 6 down. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm just gluing them on here. And you can I'm an eyeballer when it comes to most of this kind of stuff. So I'm going to put a couple of these on so you see what I'm doing. I'm just following my blueprint. That's what this blueprint is for. So this video, I hope to make 2 more of these Advent folios. That's my plan. I've got all the like thinking done for them. I just need to finish making the papers for them. So you'll be able to reference this video even if you buy a different a different style of the Advent Folio. So I've got those two. Now I'm going to place my next ones, and then that way I can just fill them in. I'm still laughing about the weather outside is frightful. She loves Christmas. She starts decorating. She may have her tree up right now, honestly. It is November 11th. I think the earliest she's probably put it up is November 1st. She's really good about it. She loves wrapping gifts. One of these things she showed me with the 3D printing is a tape thing. So basically you have 2 rolls of tape that you put on.
Your dryer is done.
The dryer's done. The 2 rolls of tape, and then you extend this thing out and it drags your tape out, and then you like take scissors and cut it and you get 18 pieces of tape. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Now, me, I would never use that. Here's why. I would lose it. I would use it this Christmas, and then I would lose it, and I would never see it again. And then in 6 or 7 years, I would be like, oh, I had this tape thing one time. Yeah, that's me. That's how I operate. So, but for her, it would be so great because she would use it, and she would use it over and over again. Okay, I'm going to speed through this part, and then we're going to get to stuffing these. Yay! Okay, now we're flipping it over this way. We're going to put our large envelope here, and then we have a little Merry Christmas tag that goes right here. And I'm going to place this right here. And this is your little tag. You can write a message on. You could tuck something in here. It would be a great place for a gift card. You know, I'm always thinking, let me see. I've still got my library card right here, so let me see. Could this fit? Oh my goodness, look y'all. Ta-da! This would be so fun to put a gift card in. I am going to cut a small piece of ribbon. I need to order some more of this. This is like I have started working on the like Amazon like storefront thing, so I can link all that stuff for y'all. But this is a ripped edge ribbon, maybe that's what it's called. I can't remember. I really love it though, and I love its neutral color, and yeah. So I'm gonna so there's that. Cut that a little long, but I'm gonna leave it. And then this tucks right in there, and the little window. How cute is that? The whole kind of theme, if you've noticed, for Candlewick Lane is like lanterns and light and shiny things. So that can be tucked right in there. This would be a great place for a magnet, right here. Should we do that? Ooh, maybe we will. Starting to run low on magnets. I love these things. I need to order some more. So we will on the fabric tack. Okay, while that is drying, let's talk about these cuties. I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna show you a couple of things. So this is, like I had mentioned earlier, this is your maker's guide, and it says, before Candlewick Lane opens to its wanderers, it must first be brought to life by your hands. Each envelope hides a story. Each pocket holds a memory. Follow the order below as you build the lane and watch the street come alive with light and wonder. So number one's contents for the envelope is the candle shop. And then the heart of this story that I guess it kind of helped me figure out like what I wanted to put is right here. So the lane's first light, where warmth and wonder begins. And so that's the idea of Candlewick Lane, is the whole lighting. So you have several small things. Okay, those are for the mini envelopes. There's some extra pieces here too, like there's a tag and some florals and this little, if it has stuff inside it that is not food, is it still a cloche? I don't know. Glass dome thing, which I would call a cloche, but I don't know if it's a cloche if it doesn't have food. Question. If you know the answer. And then these are your, like, when I put it through the cutter, it didn't see the white here. So, these are your shops. This is a drawer of clockmaker supplies. There's a little mannequin with a hat from the Milner, and a stack of letters, some more florals. These are the lamp post keys. This is a drawer of hat making supplies. This is a key that says unlock tomorrow gently. That's an extra thing that I gave you. And here are, so this is Ember and Wick, and this is the candle shop, and that's going to go in the first envelope. So we will open up this, and we would put Ember and Wick right inside the envelope here. That's your first envelope. Okay, your second envelope is a mini envelope, okay, and it's right here. And it is, second envelope is a candle display. It says a gathering of candles glowing like memories shared. So we would find the candle display, which is right here. Candle display, let's see, can I get that to there? And so that tucks right inside of your little mini envelope. I've got a little lip here. Let's do it this way because it's got that little lip right there, which sometimes makes it a little snug to go over it. Okay. We've got some little wooden toys here. We've got, this is a drawer of bookbinding materials, candies. This is a vase of flowers. Here is Pennyworth Post. Here is instruments. A couple of these have two pieces. So like the Milner has two pieces, and then let me show you, look at the little shops. Let me just zoom in on the little shops for a minute. This is the lamplighter shop. Here is an extra shop for you, and these have all those glass dome cloche things. Thread and thimble, so this is the tailor. Here is another candle display, so you could use either one of these. I gave you two. This one's named Ember and Wick though. So that's an extra one. Here is the clockmaker's shop. And this is Ink and Ivory, which is the letterpress shop. Here's the Milner shop, Ribbon and Rose. Here is the music hall called the Golden Chord, and there's actually two pieces for that. There is the outside of the building and the inside of the building. And then you've got your candy shop, which this one's called Sugar Barrel Confectionery, which you can see right there. And then you've got Ivy and Thistle, which is the florist, which looks like a little greenhouse. And then you have Parchment and Press, which is the bookbinder. And you've got a little extra tag here and then this. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up, and then I'll show you the last part. Okay, that is done. So then you have a few extra pieces, as I have mentioned. I've got these little word strips here, and they can tuck in either the bigger envelopes or some of the smaller envelopes, but they have like things like every lamp on Candlewick Lane burns with a story untold. Some dreams bloom only in the quiet of December nights. If you listen closely, even silence sings of joy. So these can all be like tucked in into different little places as little extra surprises. And then you've got these extra pieces, which you could do with whatever. I just put them in there. Now I will make this recommendation as I was putting this together. Here is what I recommend. I would recommend doubling up these small pieces. And I'm going to make a new video that teaches you how to do that and cut them out with your silhouette. So be watching for that. I also have an idea for a video on how to alter things, because I have my devotional that I just released recently that has like tags and things like that on it. And I want to show you how you can. So here's some of the tags for that. And I want to show you how you can alter that. So that's my other video that I have an idea for. I should write this down. Pause to write this down. Okay, this video ended up way long, and I'm tired of hearing myself talk, so I'm certain you are as well. But I wanted to show you what I ended up doing here. So these magnets did not work out quite like it has a little bit of closing, but I would just recommend wrapping this with ribbon, or if you have a better idea for where to put these magnets, let me know. I'd love to know what you think. Maybe here. It's just hard because these are thick and they have stuff inside them, and that's what you want. Anyway, for the closures, what I ended up doing, I tried these. I had these sent to me from Amazon. So this is a poster one, and this is a removable one, glue dots. I used to use these in scrapbooking all the time. On this side is the removable kind. It's still like, will kind of tear your paper a little bit on there. So not great, not terrible, but not great if you're trying to make this like something you use every year without like affixing them permanently, because these glue dots, once they stay for a little bit, they will stay forever. Like it'll be glued down, even though they're repositionable at first. This side, I used the poster ones, and they are surprisingly stronger than the removable ones. So yeah, I would recommend on this, if you want it to be something you reuse every year, do Velcro dots, tiny little Velcro dots here. It's gonna make it a little bit thicker, but probably not a ton. And since you can just close it with some ribbon, then you should be good. Anyway, that's it. Thank y'all so much for sticking with me through this very long video. I can't wait to see what you do with this. Have a great day. Bye.